afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now, live at 4.
It's Friday! That's about the best one we've had in a long time.
Well, the sun's come out.
That's right. The sun is out. It's a beautiful day. It's Mother's Day weekend. All good stuff.
Lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and a busy show as well, so let's get to it. Here's what's making news on this Friday. It was a scene teachers hope they never see in their school. Chaos in the lunchroom. Jamie Perez describes what happened at the Verona High School.
A somber scene as well at the state capitol today as 2 more names are added to the police memorial. Our Amanda Quintana has that story.
And the trade war takes its toll on American manufacturers as a Wisconsin company passes its additional costs onto its customers.
Let's take a look outside today. Boy, it felt like a gift, didn't it?
It makes a huge difference. Look at these geese, they're enjoying it.
Oh,
and
that's
these
a great
ducks.
shot.
Boy, there's fowl everywhere. Umbrella for Mother's Day. Say it isn't so. Chris is in the backyard. That's not a very nice gift from Mother Nature.
It's not. So we're going to watch that one closely. By the way, Susan, the It's Friday was so good is because I screamed it from out here. Maybe you all heard it and there. But I'll tell you what, temperatures are a lot warmer this afternoon as opposed to yesterday. That comes with the sunshine that we do have out here right now. In fact, we're at 59 degrees. That's the warmest we have been all day. So if we don't warm up anymore, 59 ends up being our high for the day. 60 showing up as you work your way over towards the Mississippi River Valley. And the wind is calm. So we had a stiff breeze earlier. That has relaxed. And so now if you were just sitting underneath the rays of those sunshine, boy, I'll tell you just how good it feels. A little bit cooler over towards the lake shore. That's where some of those temperatures are still in the 40s. This time of the year, the lake really works to keep things a little bit cooler. But then you go back towards the west, and Boscobel is at 63 right now. So generally, things are comfortable. And again, these are the highs so far today, and we'll see how temperatures respond as we go through the next couple of minutes. But eventually, the sun begins to set, and we're going to start to see those temperatures going back down. Now, we have watched more cloud cover move in. This is a live look from the station camera right now. We go out towards Platteville. You see some of that cloud cover as well. That's been diurnal or happening with the daylight. So visible cloud track just kind of shows you how those clouds bubbled up over time. And now they're all starting to actually fade away a little bit as we head into the evening. There are also some showers and storms back across parts of Texas. I want to point those out because those could throw more cloud cover our way overnight tonight and into Saturday. But in the meantime, if you are just planning your Friday evening, it's going to be beautiful. Enjoy that sunshine, and then eventually more cloud cover moves into Saturday. Your first alert traffic, of course, we are watching that. Here's the Beltline at Rimrock, and it is indeed a Friday. So we're going to watch those slowdowns as they begin to show up. And of course, we'll keep you up to date as we go throughout the show. But right now, of course, it is the Beltline, and downtown, we're starting to see several brake lights.
All right, it's Friday, expect that.
Yep.
All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. First at 4, everything was calm at Verona High School today, in contrast to yesterday when 3 fights broke out and police were called.
Our Jamie Perez has new video showing the chaotic scene inside the school yesterday and spoke to students today about what happened. She joins us now outside the high school in Verona with what students are saying. Jamie?
Well, before we get into all that, guys, I just wanted to relay some information that we just learned moments ago. The 3 students who were arrested yesterday are facing charges that range from disorderly conduct, battery, resisting arrest, making threats to a cop. They range from 15 to 16 years old. Now, the student that I spoke with today is a sophomore here at this high school. He says that at lunch today, the cafeteria was practically empty because there were so many students that didn't come to school because they were scared after seeing the fights yesterday. And here's why. Here's a look at that video. Now, throughout the clips, you'll see people throwing punches, yelling out expletives, staff trying to pull people apart, and police officers restraining a student. Again, as I mentioned, 3 students were arrested while 2 other students and a staff member were hurt from all of this. The school also says all students involved have been suspended. There was an increased police presence on campus today in response to those fights and threats that there would be more today. I spoke with one student this afternoon who says, though there have been issues before, he's never seen it get this bad.
I walked down to the lunchroom and I just saw like a bunch of people piled up on each other, just fighting. Man, everything is so crazy. Like, why is everyone fighting? Like, this is just ridiculous.
The school and police were not available to do interviews with us today, saying that they were in meetings all day discussing how this investigation is ongoing. Now, when we first found out about this yesterday, we obtained the police report as well as the email sent out by the principal. The information that was contained in both of them are vastly different. So coming up tonight at 6, I'll share what was reported in both of those. Back to you.
We will see then. Jamie Perez live in Verona. Jamie, thanks.
2 names have been added to the Law Enforcement Memorial at the Wisconsin State Capitol, both Milwaukee police officers who died while serving their community.
Our Amanda Quintana is here now with more on this annual ceremony. Amanda?
Yes, well, officers from across the state come to Madison for this service each year, today honoring 2 of their brothers in blue, remembering who they were and the impact they made on the ones they love. It starts with a procession to the Capitol, followed by a ceremony including a traditional salute, taps, and a wreath presentation. Then names of the officers who died in the line of duty are officially added to the memorial. Officer Charles Irvine Jr. was killed in a car crash while pursuing another vehicle back in June, and in July, Officer Michael Mahalski was shot by a wanted suspect. With the addition of their names, this brings the total amount of names to 279. The keynote speaker says while many police in attendance feel anger or heartache, they also feel a sense of pride and respect.
With all that grief and sadness and unanswered questions, there needs to be a positive recognition of the lives lost, celebrating their mission, the lives that they have saved over the years, the difference they made.
Next year, another Milwaukee police officer's name will be added to the memorial. Matthew Rittner, who was shot to death this February. Governor Evers and Attorney General Josh Kaul were also there to pay tribute to the officers today. This was the 29th annual ceremony honoring Wisconsin law enforcement killed in the line of duty. It also celebrates the beginning of National Police Week, and that begins on Sunday.
All right, Amanda Quintana, thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. The president of the Electronic Specialties Company in Genoa City says it will have to increase the prices of its handheld automotive test equipment that it imports from China due to the tariff trade wars. That trade war escalated overnight. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin entered the White House following a meeting with a Chinese trade delegation. The talks ended after nearly 2 hours without a new deal, but Mnuchin called it constructive. Even before this morning's meeting began, President Trump tweeted there is absolutely no need to rush.
Unemployment numbers are the best in the history of our country, and we're doing well, and our companies are really doing well.
Overnight, the U.S. raised tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese-made goods from 10% to 25%. If no deal can be made, then President Trump says he's prepared to put a 25% tariff on another $325 billion worth of Chinese-made goods. That would impact everything China ships to the U.S. China says it will respond with countermeasures, likely higher tariffs on U.S.-made goods. And while Beijing has not announced which products could be targeted, U.S. farmers already being impacted by trade tensions could be hit even harder. Doug Onstad is a farmer in Polk County, Iowa. He says some of his neighbors say they will have to sell their farms if the U.S. and China can't agree to a deal.
There's a lot of guys that, you know, their brokers have been telling them to hang on, and this thing's going to get better when the deal gets done.
The Trump administration says it's working on a plan to help farmers. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue tweeted President Trump is steadfast in his support for U.S. farmers and directed the USDA to work on a plan quickly. The president loves his farmers and will not let them down. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Soybean farmers have been hit especially hard. The crop is the most valuable U.S. export, and shipments to China dropped to a 16-year low last year, while soybean prices reached 11-year lows this week.
House Democrats passed a disaster aid package over the objection of President Trump and Republicans. In a vote along party lines, the House passed a $19 billion disaster relief bill after an amendment from Republicans to add emergency funds for humanitarian aid at the U.S.-Mexico border failed. Aid to Puerto Rico was a major sticking point. About $600 million will fund a nutrition program for the island, still recovering almost 20 months after Hurricane Maria hit.
It is un-American to deny nutrition assistance to American citizens living in Puerto Rico, particularly children. That is immoral, and we should be ashamed.
We gave Puerto Rico $91 billion for the hurricane. That's the largest amount of money ever given to any state.
President Trump opposed the bill this morning. He tweeted, "Republicans must stick together. House Republicans should not vote for the bad Democrat disaster supplemental bill." The Senate is working on its own disaster aid bill that faces an uphill battle.
The National Weather Service says millions of people across the Deep South could be affected by severe weather over the weekend. The Storm Prediction Center says there is a marginal risk of severe storms from eastern Texas to western North Carolina. About 38 million people live in that region. A new round of severe storms is hammering the Gulf Coast, affecting millions as well. Texas and Louisiana have been the hardest hit, with much of the Houston area left underwater overnight.
Researchers have pinpointed Cook County, Illinois, home to Chicago's O'Hare Airport, as the place that's most likely at risk for the next wave of measles. The analysis is largely based on the number of flights into O'Hare from global destinations with measles outbreaks and high numbers of unvaccinated children. Rounding out the top 5 most vulnerable counties are Los Angeles, Miami-Dade, Queens, New York, and King County, Washington.
Helium balloons for graduations and end of the school year parties are going to be a lot more expensive this year. Supply experts say we are in the middle of a global helium shortage, and the effects go far beyond balloons. Helium is also needed in MRI machines and to make computer hard drives and chips. Welders and scientists also use it. At Balloon King in New York, customers are now paying 40% more because of the shortage.
At first, they're a little shocked, saying, "Oh, when we came here last year, it was this price." But then we explained to them what's been going on.
The U.S. is the world's largest supplier of helium. The gas is harvested from deep in the earth during natural gas processing. Party City announced today it is closing 45 stores, but says the cuts are not connected to the helium shortage.
Well, that doesn't make sense. They make all their money on helium balloons?
They're the balloon headquarters, that's true.
All right, well, there's more to come at 4. Mother's Day is this weekend.
And we have the remarkable story of the ultimate Mother's Day gift. You'll see it when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Well, it was a big day on Wall Street.
Uber made its initial public offering one of the 10 largest in history. Uber made its debut on Wall Street today, ringing the opening bell on the New York Stock Exchange. The ride-sharing company is valued at more than $80 billion. The company priced its offering at $45 a share before the kickoff of trading. Stacey Cunningham is the president of the New York Stock Exchange.
10 years ago, nobody even had an Uber app on their phone. It didn't even exist. No one had heard of it. Now there's almost 100 million people that are using Uber on a regular basis. So they've really built a platform, and now we'll see how they take that platform and use it in a variety of ways to increase mobility.
Uber is hoping for a better reception than its smaller rival Lyft, which saw its stock fall more than 20% since it went public last month. Cunningham says Uber is bigger and able to manage market volatility.
And some hopeful news on trade with China sent stocks higher. The Dow Industrials gained 114 points, ending the week at 25,942. The Nasdaq Composite Index was up 6. The S&P 500 added 10. Well, this Mother's Day, a young woman in Ohio is honoring the mother she lost.
Her mom died suddenly, but saved many lives with her death, including someone very close to her. Julian Glover has their story.
Josie Brown is thankful every day to her mom for saving her boyfriend Mike's life.
What would I say to my mom? Thank you. That I was proud of her. There were so many things I'd want to say.
In December, her mom, Carrie, died suddenly from a brain aneurysm at just 46 years old. Josie says it was no surprise that her always willing to help mom was a registered organ donor. Mike Rogers had been on the waiting list for a new kidney for 8 months due to complications from a genetic condition. Her family insisted Mike receive one of Carrie's kidneys.
It was a lot to take on because I would rather be on dialysis still and her mom be here.
2 days after Carrie's death, they got the call. The kidney was a perfect match for Mike.
Something so good now to something so bad. It was just a true blessing.
The transplant took place at the Cleveland Clinic.
Mike was a little bit young for him to have this kidney failure.
Mike's surgeon, Dr. Alvin Wee, says the wait time for many organs can be years, and those wait times are getting longer.
Donation is very important because, it saves lives, and you can do this both as a living donor and as an organ donor.
Several of Carrie's other organs, including her heart and lungs, along with her corneas and skin tissue, were also donated.
She's helping those people live on.
Josie and Mike hope more people step up and make the same life-saving decision Carrie did.
So now I get to, I want to marry her, live my life with her. And I can always be thankful for her mom for that. Truly like a guardian angel I like to think of.
Julian Glover, CBS News, Louisville, Ohio.
More than 110,000 people are on the waiting list right now for an organ, and about 20 people die every day waiting for a transplant.
What a gift that was.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day. And we'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Well, take a look at this. Graduation day at a high school in Pittsburgh, California is going to include a very unusual phenomenon. The graduating class includes twins Michaela and Miles Grant, and Nick and Victor Montez, and Vanessa and Alyssa Vinegra, and the list goes on and on. In all, there are 15 sets of twins graduating. Statistics indicate that for every 200 people, you'll see 3 sets of twins. So based on the class size here, that would mean 7 sets, not 15.
That is really cool.
That's a lot of twins in one school.
It really is.
Well, a celebration is underway in Utah to mark the 150th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad.
Hundreds of people watched a reenactment in Promontory where the final spikes were hammered into the ground to mark the completion of the nearly 1,800-mile rail line. The completed railroad shortened cross-country travel from as long as 6 months to about 10 days, and it transformed the way the country handled business, shipping, and commerce.
It did change history.
It's a beautiful part of the country, too.
It really is. I had a dream yesterday morning that I got to go out west. I haven't been out west yet, and there's a large arrow of the states I have to go visit. So now, for the past 24 hours, I've been thinking about how I can get out there.
Take the train.
Take the train.
I know, might have to take the train, but I'll tell you what, at least we have more sunshine in our forecast. At least initially, there could be some rain chances, though, by the time we get towards Mother's Day. I'll be ironing out those details coming up. We're noticing warmer temperatures across the upper Midwest today, along with plenty of sunshine. In fact, temperatures throughout the past 24 hours are 11 degrees warmer for us here in Madison. You work your way towards La Crosse, things are 15 degrees warmer than just 24 hours ago. And folks, we have plenty of sunshine out there, along with the Decorator cloud cover. We're not expecting rain to fall out of those. It's the same story for the Edgewater. We did make it to 59 degrees so far today. That's still 8 degrees below where we should be for this time of the year. Our low this morning, 38. Even that was below normal. Typically, we start things out in the mid-40s for the day. We're still at 59 right now. Winds are calm though, folks. So when you step outside and those rays of sun hit you, yeah, it feels pretty good out there. And it's going to stay feeling pretty good as we go through the rest of this afternoon and evening. We've seen a few showers across the northern tier of the state today. That will not impact us. Here around town, we are going to be staying dry despite any cloud cover that you do see out there. And really, the cloud cover is all we've had to deal with. I said earlier these cloud covers were diurnal in nature. That just means they form with the daylight. They happen every day. So as the sun came up, we saw more of the clouds begin to develop. And as the sun begins to set, we're actually going to see the cloud cover begin to thin out and peter off before we go through the nighttime hours. 59 again right now, 60 as you work your way over towards Lone Rock, Boscobel at 63. Then towards the lake shore, things are just a little bit colder. We're talking 46 in Milwaukee and Sheboygan right now. Manitowoc at 43 as the lake keeps things just a little bit colder. So warmer temperatures across the eastern half of the country. Pretty uniform temperatures across the upper Midwest as high pressure stays in control behind the cold front that came through yesterday, sweeping out the showers and thunderstorms. That sunshine that we saw out there is also brought to us by the same region of high pressure, but one of the things we will have to watch as we go into tomorrow, it's this little area of showers that you see developing down near Texas that has the potential to begin to throw a little bit of cloud cover our way as we go through the next 24 hours. In fact, we put this into motion. Here's that cloud cover into Saturday morning. Notice the rain chances, though, stay mainly to our south. We will watch to see if a shower chance can develop into the afternoon. A bigger chance for showers has come on Mother's Day. That's as this next little wave of low pressure starts to move on into town. I do think most of us will be able to squeeze in some dry hours for Mother's Day, but we're going to be watching that one closely. Let's plan out the weekend for you. Here we are tomorrow morning. We're starting things out on Saturday. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s and low 40s. Some of that cloud cover could be starting to move in from the south at that point. Here we are Saturday by lunchtime. Temperatures are still going to be into the 50s, and notice the shower chances trying to show up across parts of the west. We're going to watch that one. Then towards Sunday, here we are with a clearing sky just a little bit. Those temperatures are going to be in the 40s, and then the clouds start to increase, and coming in from the west is a little chance for showers. We're going to watch that. Unfortunately for you moms, we do have to use that chance of a forecast. By the way, these are the moms of the weather team. Here's me and my beautiful mother, Dave and his mom, Dana Fulton and her mom, and Hattie and her mom there. Look for pictures, send us pictures as we go into your Mother's Day. But here's the deal, we're watching it. Here's that system on Sunday. You see the cloud cover coming in, and then it moves on out. So it's not a big rain chance. We'll want to keep those umbrellas handy, but I do think we'll see several dry hours moving into your Mother's Day. Monday looks fantastic. Even Tuesday looks good. Plenty of sunshine there. We'll watch a light rain chance Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then Wednesday and Thursday actually do look mainly dry at this point. There has been a change in the forecast, though. Models starting to trend more towards a wet period that develops by the time we get you towards next weekend. That's a pretty substantial change, but the models have been showing that consistently for quite a bit. That means temperatures, instead of going well above average, may come right back down to being right around, if not below average, for some time. Going through tonight, we'll see those skies stay partly cloudy. Temperatures will be cool. We'll cool down to about 39 degrees. 62 for your high tomorrow. Winds are going to come out of the southeast at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. But then, unfortunately, yes, we do watch the rain chances come back into the forecast. So enjoy the dry weather that is out there for right now, because this is it, folks. And then we'll have more dry weather Monday throughout most of Tuesday. That PM rain chance on Tuesday is going to be late Tuesday night. Most folks will probably already be in bed by that point. Wednesday, it gets out of here early. So that rain chance, I do think most folks will be asleep for. So we're looking at some dry periods Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday before the rain after that.
The polar bears, oh my goodness.
The polar bears were out. I haven't seen them in a minute.
You know, at noon, it was going to be 80 next weekend.
That's right. I know that you took the 80 out. Yeah.
Dave and I were talking. We decided, all right, it's time to make the change and pull the trigger on this forecast. So we'll see. The struggle is the models are wanting to put that front right on top of us for the weekend, which would mean storm after storm after storm. If we can get it to go farther towards the north, we stay a lot warmer and drier. We'll see.
We'll get there.
It's a long way off.
It's a long way off. We'll expect plenty of variations.
Enjoy tomorrow.
Yep.
Thank you. And
Thanks,
Chris will keep
Chris.
us up to date all weekend long with the weather. And then stay tuned for CBS Sunday Morning. Jane Pauley is with us once again from New York. Jane, and I understand you're featuring a story of courage in the face of adversity this week.
You bet. Well, this spring, all eyes have been on Jeopardy. Jeopardy! Well, everyone's been watching contestant James Holzhauer's unprecedented winning streak. Jeopardy host Alex Trebek has been fighting the odds, too. As he revealed last March, he's battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And yet he never missed a day of work during chemotherapy. And as he told me recently, sometimes, despite terrible pain, we talked at his home in L.A. Here's a clip.
This got really bad. I was on the floor, writhing in pain. It went to, I went from a 3 to an 11.
Were you able to excuse yourself and then go scream and writhe in pain privately?
No, I taped the show, and then I made it to the dressing room on one occasion, just barely, before I writhed in pain and cried in pain.
And then he'd pull himself together and go tape the next show like 15 minutes later. I have to tell you, in the course of our interview, Trebek had me laughing half of the time. He's a tremendous, tremendous attitude, very, very good-humored about, even when he's talking about the pain. Trebek's hosted nearly 8,000 episodes of Jeopardy in 35 years so far. And won't it be great if Alex Trebek and James Holzhauer were both back when a new season begins in September?
He is looking very good, though.
Yeah, well, he points out to me, you know, the hair on his head was a wig. And he challenges, yeah, he told me, challenged viewers, you know, you tell me when I started wearing the wig, you know, because he was taping some of those programs that haven't been aired yet, not all of them, before and some after. I mean, he's adorable and just seemed in a great state of mind, despite a very serious diagnosis.
Yeah, that's wonderful to hear. All right, what else is on the show this weekend?
Well, you may think you know shock jock Howard Stern. A rather different Howard Stern talks to Tracy Smith about some of the people who've opened up to him. And he opens up a bit about his own health scare. And with that troubling outbreak of measles that's going on across the country, our Dr. John LaPook looks into the controversy surrounding vaccinations. So there's that, and as usual, a whole lot more. So we hope to see you then.
We hope to see you as well at 8 o'clock Sunday morning. Jane Pauley, thank you.
Thank you.
And when we come back, we're headed to the movies.
We'll have a preview of the Anne Hathaway Rebel Wilson comedy, The Hustle, when Live at 4 continues.
Oh, it is graduation weekend on
Finals
campus.
are over. The sun is shining.
Look at the crowd at the Memorial Union Terrace.
Oh, that's great.
It's literally soaking up the sun. Congratulations to all the
Place
grads.
to be. Welcome to the School of Life.
Well, the dynamic duo in the new comedy is ready to do whatever it takes to get sweet revenge.
Their target, dirty, rotten men. David Daniel has a preview of The Hustle.
Teach me your sugar baby ways. Shape me into something great and richer.
And why would I do that?
Because who knows? I could be the partner you never knew you needed.
No thanks. I work alone.
Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway star in The Hustle as professional scam artists who have one major goal: payback.
I had no idea how small time I was until I met you.
Penny, why are women better suited to the con than men?
Because we're used to faking it.
Because no man will ever believe a woman is smarter than he is. Is it valuable? $500,000. I like it because it's shiny.
The Hustle is a female-centered remake of the 1988 film Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Josephine and Penny aim to give every wrongdoing man a run for his money.
He's a tech millionaire.
Billionaire, I bet.
Try to be as inconspicuous as possible.
Come through. Yep, blind person walking here. If this person would just scoot over, would you mind, sir?
And they're determined to succeed no matter what it takes.
You let her get away.
Trashy dressing, did it again.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
That could go either way.
Yeah, it looks funny.
Could be
The
hilarious.
trailer looks funny.
And we'll see what Will Loper thinks about this movie, The Hustle, on Monday.
When we come back, we'll go backstage with Bruno.
There are 2 more chances to see Playtime's production presentation of The Red Shoes. Michael Bruno has a guest from Playtime Productions when Live at 4 continues.
Happy Friday. Let's go ahead and get you home and show you how traffic is shaping up across the area. And of course, per usual, we are starting to see those backups stack up for us. This is the Beltline at Rimrock right now. Cars are moving, but we have seen the traffic volume truly begin to increase. We are watching the speeds right now downtown and on the Beltline. That is where traffic speeds are moving anywhere from about 12 to 25 miles per hour. A pretty hefty backup as you approach Verona Road towards Seminole Highway. Those backups continue all the way towards Fish Hatchery, Park Street, and then past John Nolan. We jump down to Verona Road near the County Highway PD intersection. And again, we're still seeing those backups as that construction is ongoing. We're looking at 9-mile-per-hour speeds as you work your way north on Verona Road towards that County Highway PD intersection. University to Verona, that average speed right now on the Beltline is about 12 or 40 miles per hour. That's taking you 10 minutes. Then Verona Road to John Nolan, that's an extra 13 minutes with an average speed of 20 miles per hour. So if you're going from University to John Nolan, expect that to take you about 25 minutes or so. Those speeds are slow, but we will get you home on this Friday. Just pack your patience and take it easy, guys.
Grandmother, look. Why, those are a very nice pair of brown shoes.
Brown? But grandmother. Karen, I'm sure your grandmother prefers brown shoes rather than, let's say, red ones. Isn't that so?
Red shoes are very impractical and so conspicuous.
And it was nice of the shoemaker.
That is a scene from the show Red Shoes, as presented by Playtime Productions. That's a nonprofit by kids for kids that performs all over Dane County. Red Shoes tells the story of Karen, a poor girl who loves to dance. After her grandmother orders shoes, the unscrupulous Madame Pandora substitutes a magic pair that dance on their own. It's a timely tale that cautions with the old axiom, be careful what you wish for. And the final two performances of the Red Shoes tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight's performance is at Emerson Elementary School, and there's a matinee tomorrow at the Stoughton Opera House. Michael Bruno is here tonight, along with Playtime Productions board member Nikki Stute. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. So, Nikki, tell us a little bit about Playtime Productions, for people that may not know what the company is.
Sure. It's a nonprofit theater group that was started in 1980 by my mother-in-law, Teddy Stute. Started out kind of as a Players in the Park in Monona kind of thing. It became part of a summer school program for Monona elementary schools for a while, and now it's its own nonprofit entity. The kids rehearse with our director, Renee Leach, at the Monona Library. Auditions will start first week of September, and then again first week of February. The kids will rehearse for 2 months straight and then do about 16 or 17 performances throughout Dane County.
And these are all original productions written by your mother-in-law.
Yes.
And they're all based on?
Fairy tales, and some of them are a little more obscure, like the Snow Queen, but then there are well-known ones, Wizard of Oz and Princess and the Pea, Cinderella, those kinds of stories that kids love.
Kids of what ages?
Well, the cast is usually 3rd through 8th grade, but I would say even older preschoolers could really enjoy the show. At a lot of the venues, we allow audience members to come and sit in front of where, say, the regular seating section is, so kids can sit on the floor and move around. And the show lasts about an hour to an hour 10, so it's a great performance. The kids have worked very, very hard to put together a polished production that would keep an audience's attention.
What a great experience.
It is.
They do really wonderful shows. They're really fascinating.
Thank you.
And I know that Teddy puts herself into some of the scripts.
She does. When she wrote each script, she decided she should be in each one and named typically the like the Wicked Witch, or the older grandmother character is named Henrietta.
And this is video from the Barrymore. You play Overture. I mean, it's not just schools.
No, it's great. We do all over Dane County. We go to some of the bigger high schools, and those auditoriums and venues are fantastic. Wanakee, Sauk City, Monona Grove. We play the Barrymore usually on a Sunday night, which is awesome. They play the Overture, and there's a space in the Madison Public Library across from the Overture. We do a show there as well. And then, like Emerson Elementary, Monona Library is where they open usually at the beginning of the performance season.
What a wonderful opportunity
Oh,
for
I
these
think
kids.
so, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is.
2 performances left, as we mentioned tonight, 6:30 at Emerson Elementary School, and then tomorrow at the Stoughton Opera House, and pay what you can. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Get kids exposed to plays and writing and all that stuff at an early age. It's spectacular. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much
Michael,
for having
thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Nikki.
Have a good weekend.
What do we have next week? Do you know yet?
Next week, we are probably having a crass theater production of Shiny Things.
Okay, great.
We like shiny things.
We like Shiny Things. We like Shiny Things.
We'll be right back with a final check your forecast. Enjoy the evening. Nice out there.
Yeah, that's right. Temperatures are going to stay nice for now. Once the clouds begin to go away with the sun setting just a little bit, we're going to see those temperatures begin to fall. Now, we're still going to stay partly cloudy. It's not going to be a completely clear night, but we're going to see those lows into the upper 30s. Tomorrow, we could actually see a little bit more cloud cover begin to come back. So we're going to stay partly sunny. We'll see those highs right around 62, and then we are watching at least a little bit of a rain chance for Mother's Day. I don't think it's going to be a washout right now.
All right, that's great.
Call your mother.
Yeah, absolutely. I will remember to do that.
All right, Chris, thank you. And Monday here on Live Before, Dr. Zorba Pastor will be taking your medical questions live.
And film critic Will Loper will tell us what he thinks of the movie Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Really?
That's coming up Monday on Live at 4. Mother's Day is this weekend, of course, and Lola and Louie found a couple of animal mom and baby stories.
They're part of this week's edition of the Newshounds Now Update.
It's Newshounds Now Update with Lola and Louie.
This week on the Newshounds Now Update, a catwalk by a cat.
A horse horsing around.
And a mother's love knows no bounds.
But first, a brand new mom. A female antelope calf named Clarice was born at the Brevard Zoo in Florida. The adorable little one is currently staying behind the scenes under the watchful eye of her mother. Weighing less than 2 pounds at birth, the baby was named in honor of Rudolph's girlfriend in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Full-grown, Clarice will be between 17 to 24 inches tall.
Speaking of moms, a cat named Pusha, living in the southern Crimean Peninsula at an animal park, has adopted 4 baby squirrels in addition to her own 4 kittens. Several weeks ago, Pusha was introduced to the orphan babies found by a local resident. It wasn't exactly love at first sight. It took some time for the animals to get used to each other. The squirrels were afraid of the cat, but now they've grown into a big, happy family. Mom, 4 baby squirrels, and 4 kittens of her own. Workers at the park help with the feeding, giving goat's milk to all of the hungry mouths.
An unlikely model made an appearance on the catwalk of the Christian Dior cruise show in Marrakesh in typical feline fashion. As models filed along the runway for the show's finale, the gray and white cat strutted alongside them. The catty kitty walked in an opposite direction to the models, cutting across their line and making its way toward the audience, stealing the show.
And finally, residents hoofing it to work in a leaf